Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, this thing's all over the place. It's all over the place. All right, this is what it is. What's going on, everybody? That was a lot. You know, sometimes people say, Al, you should jab. Well, I'm not jabbing for just like regular games. I'm saving my jabs. Guys, this is a really good win tonight. Really, really impressive win tonight. 106-102 the final score. Let me see if I could catch a quick second here at Dorian Finney-Smith on Spectrum Sportsnet. Let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, I'm happy he started making shots. I know he wanted to get going, but you know he put the work in, so it's gonna show.
How much fun are you having as a Laker?
Come on, it's been fun. We winning. You know that's all that matters. You know, I want to make more shots, but the wins means more.
All right, last one for you. What's the thing that you take out of this now? You guys have to move forward and try to keep all this going.
Defense. You know, we keep holding teams close to 100 points. I feel like we could beat anybody.
All right, Dodo, appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right. Post-game show started. I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is such an impressive win. I got to be honest with everybody. I don't think I was that confident about tonight's game. I really wasn't. I just, listen, they just played 30 minutes ago. They just played a game. You lose Austin Reeves in this game. How many minutes did Austin Reeves end up playing total? Reeves ended up playing in tonight's game, and I know Norman Powell wasn't going on the other end. Reeves only played 9 minutes. Rui Hachimura isn't in this game as well. It is so impressive what the Lakers are doing right now. I really just kind of want to take a quick step back here for a quick second and just talk about what we're watching with the Lakers. It's as impressive as a stretch here that I've watched the Lakers basketball in a really long time. Guys, let me tell you why. It's not because they beat the Clippers 106-102. It's not because the last game they played, the last two games that they played, they beat Dallas, they beat Minnesota. It's not because it's just the competition that they're playing. What makes this team so special so far this year, look how many different lineups you've seen with the Lakers and J.J. Redick and LeBron James and Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, some of these guys that have been here all season. Nobody's making any excuses. Vando came back. It's probably been a month since he's come back. Dorian Finney-Smith was traded at some point, came to the Lakers, started playing basically in January. Luka, how many games has he played now with the Lakers? A small handful of games. I mean, Dalton Knecht gets traded and then has to come back and had some impact in tonight's game. You got guys that are giving minutes to the Lakers, quality minutes from Jordan Goodwin, quality minutes from Trey Jamison III, quality minutes from Jackson Hayes. It's just really impressive basketball. I mean, nothing special from me tonight. I'm just going to sit here and try to tell it how it is. And when I say coming into this game, I thought this was going to be one of those games that the Lakers were going to lose. And then the way the Clippers jumped out and they had a 10-point lead before, I think at one point it was maybe 25-15. Maybe that was too high of a squat. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what Clippers went up by, but they took a lead like this right out the start of the gate. I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Lakers are probably tired. They got some tired legs. Bron's trying to play another one. Most of the players had to play for the most part yesterday because the game came down to the end, so they played high minutes. Luka hasn't played a back-to-back yet with the Lakers. Obviously we know that he was out since Christmas, December 25th, until he got traded to the Lakers, waited a few games, and then played. There was a lot of excuses lined up for the Lakers tonight, and they just pay no attention to the excuses. Maybe a win like this should be going to your coaching staff. Maybe a win like this should go to a lot of the role players. Maybe a win like this should go to the star players. But when the dust settles and everybody looks back, you go look at the NBA standings right now. Memphis took an L. I know Denver won as well. Memphis took a step back. They're sitting with 21 losses. Denver's got 21 losses. Lakers have 21 losses. There's 3 teams with the number 2 spot to the number 4 spot in the Western Conference that are all fighting 2, 3, 4. If I'd have told you on the last day of February, getting ready, tomorrow we'll get into March 1st. If I'd have told you that by the time March 1st rolls around, here are the Lakers fighting for the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. If I'd have told you that before the season started, most Laker fans would have said, Slee, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Slee, maybe you should go with a different career route. I don't think this whole Laker conversation thing is going to work for you. I don't think you know what you're talking about. But instead, that's where the Lakers find themselves. And like I said, I got nothing but praise because this easily could have been a game that the Lakers, if they weren't on point, if they weren't crisp, if their defense was slipping, if it just was a bad game, they had all the excuses lined up for it, but it wasn't. It was a team now in the Clippers. I said this, I was talking about this a little bit this morning, and then I know I was talking about it last night as well. I think there is there's something that you kind of start looking at, even when you start looking at, can they compete for a number 2 spot? The reason why a game like this was also so important, Clippers took another L. You have a 6-game advantage now between the number 4 spot where the Lakers are and the number 6 or 7 spot, which I think the Clippers and the Warriors now are both tied at 32 and 27. The point I'm trying to make is you probably have to absolutely collapse at this point to fall below that line where you're back into that play-in tournament. So a really big-time win for the Lakers. They got obviously another one coming up on Sunday, and I'm not telling you that there aren't, some things to be concerned about, and what I'm talking about is the health of Austin Reeves, the health of Rui Hachimura, all those players you're going to obviously need. But talk about next man up mentality for the Lakers. I just saw on Spectrum they had bench points for the Lakers. Okay, let's go through that for a quick second. I think 28, 29 points for the bench. Gabe Vincent, 7 points, 4 steals, 3 assists. By the way, every player that came off the bench in the plus-minus is in the plus column. Jared Vanderbilt's plus 20 in the plus column, had 5 rebounds in 14 minutes of play, only had 3 points, but you don't care about that. Vando's not there to put up points. Vando's there to do exactly what he does. Be a nuisance, go guard one of the best players on the opposing team, grab rebounds, and play defense. And Jared Vanderbilt's certainly doing his job. Trey Jamison III, I mentioned a little bit earlier, a plus 19 in the plus-minus, 5 points and 6 rebounds for him in 22 minutes of play. Great energy. An undersized big against Ivica Zubac. I'm not telling you he was locking down Ivica Zubac, but what I'm telling you is the man was doing his job. All right, let's keep going down the bench. I mentioned Gabe Vincent with the 4 steals. Jordan Goodwin has been, that's probably a name. By the way, Gabe Vincent plus 11 in the plus-minus. Jordan Goodwin plus 14 in the plus-minus. The entire bench, even Dalton Knecht, plus 2 in the plus-minus. There was not one player on the Lakers bench that was not plus in the plus-minus, which just kind of shows you that when the Clippers went to the bench and the Lakers went to the bench, the big advantage was for the Lake Show. But let me go back to Jordan Goodwin. He might be one of the players that I talk about least when I'm doing the post-game show, and he's one of the names that come up as often as a Dalton Knecht or as often as a Jared Vanderbilt or as often as a Gabe Vincent or any one of these players. Laker fans appreciate, respect what Jordan Goodwin's doing on a night-in, night-out basis. He had another 6 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, a couple assists. He's all over the place. You heard JJ Redick starting the fourth quarter. He does that interview, sideline reporter, with George Sedano, who I used to work with. And JJ Redick went out of his way to give praise to what Goodwin was doing and the energy that he brings. And then the last player off the bench, it's funny because I was literally talking about this morning. There were some people that were saying that they'd really like to see more from Dalton Knecht. I'm like, guys, you can't really expect more from Dalton Knecht. But somebody specifically, and my apologies, I can't remember who it was, somebody specifically was talking about Dalton Knecht and say, hey, if Rui's out, maybe there's some more opportunities for Dalton Knecht. Well, Knecht got opportunities because Rui was out and Austin Reeves only played 9 minutes. In 18 minutes of play, he hit a couple of threes, was 3 of 6 from the field, had 8 points for the Lakers, had a steal as well, and assist. So shout out to the Lakers bench tonight because they were just phenomenal. They were just great. And you know what's cool about doing the post-game show tonight and highlighting what I'm talking about? One of the things that's been cool about this entire thing is I haven't even talked about any of the starters yet. Literally. I have not mentioned any of the starters yet. Well, that's pretty cool. You can grab a win, you could grab a W, you can beat the Clippers, you can be fighting for the number 2 seed. You can have a 6-game cushion between you and the number 7 seed, and the Lakers have certainly owned the play-in tournament. They're not playing for anything like that this year, or trying to stay out of the play-in tournament. With all that in mind, here I am, X amount of minutes into the post-game show, and I haven't even talked about any of the starters yet. So that just tells you how great the bench was for the Lakers. Now, let's talk a little bit about the starters. I love what Dorian Finney-Smith said to Mike Trudell, just that quick piece that I played. He said, I wish I was hitting more of my shots, but look, we're playing defense. We're holding teams to around 100 points a game. Yesterday, when I was doing the postgame show, there was a stat Spectrum had put out that the Lakers were just a tick over 100 points in their last 5 games of what they're giving up defensively. Tonight, 102. So you could basically say over the course of the last 6 games now, Lakers are probably giving up about 101 points per game. You're going to win a lot of games if you're giving up 101 points per game. But Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm going to go back to here for a quick second. I'm going to mention, his game tonight of what he did. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. I want to see Dorian Finney-Smith do more offensively. I do. But that toughness that he's supposed to bring, jumps into the starting lineup, plays 30 minutes tonight. Don't get me wrong. He's going to need to hit more jumpers and more shots, but I don't think anybody's upset when Dorian Finney-Smith is in the game. He's going to be productive. Let me keep going on some of the starters here. Jackson Hayes, not a crazy game for him. Had a couple of block shots, 5 points, nothing too special from him. But Hayes obviously trying to do everything he can to contribute for the Lakers. Reeves, I mentioned, only played 9 minutes. We'll wait to hear from JJ Redick and see, obviously what Austin Reeves, hopefully nothing, too bad. But, unfortunately for the Lakers, that's 2 injuries now. I know he left the game. Right calf soreness is what he left the game with. All right, let me keep going. And now I could finally get to the stars here as we keep things rolling here. Okay, here are the stars. The stars for the Lakers. I thought LeBron, again, kind of setting the pace here. 28 points. Look how efficient Bron is, too. Again, 12 of 21 from the field. Didn't hit as many threes as you'd like, 2 of 7, but 12 of 21 from the field. 28 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists for him. And then, Luka, let me tell you what was great about Luka tonight. By the way, 10 turnovers between LeBron and Luka. They got to figure that out. They got to clean it up. Luka's still not shooting efficiently. But Luka finally had some moments tonight, too, at least in front of Crypto. Gets an and 1. 2 step-back threes, kind of dagger threes at the right time. What I liked about Luka's game tonight, 31 points. Nothing special from a rebounding perspective. Nothing special from an assist perspective because he usually fills it up. But I will say, what Luka was able to do is, hey, game is on the line. We need to separate. Let me get this step back 3 over Ivica Zubac. Next possession down, 6.5 to go in the fourth quarter. Let me get another step back over Zubac. Let me hunt Ivica Zubac, and let me try to get a big on me so I could go to work. And he did it twice over Zubac. So I point that out because when Lakers needed clutch buckets, it didn't have to be LeBron. There was chances there for Luka to do his thing, and Luka certainly did his thing. So that's your full roster right there. I mean, I started with the bench because I think the bench deserved it. I talked about some of the role players, and then I finished it off with the star players doing their thing. But I think at the end of the day, the thing that I appreciate most so far about this Lakers team, every single night there's not an excuse. They just come out ready to play, give maximum effort, and then live with the results. I've heard Austin Reeves on a podcast recently. I think it might have been JJ's old. Is it JJ's old podcast? I can't remember. No, maybe it's I can't remember the podcast off the top of my head. Anyways, I heard Austin Reeves saying that one of the things about JJ Redick, he cares less about the actual result of certain plays. He cares more about, are you at least just giving me maximum effort? If you can just give me maximum effort, I will live with the results. And I think right now that's kind of the foundation of the Lakers. They give great effort. They try hard. They play good defense. It might not always be perfect, but there's at least a little bit of a foundation there where the Lakers are playing good enough basketball to even beat teams like the Clippers. Again, they didn't have Norman Powell. I'm not telling you the Clippers are competing for an NBA championship, but Kawhi Leonard's out there. James Harden is out there. Ivica Zubac is out there. They got some good players as well. So the fact that the Lakers were able to get another W against the Clippers, 21 losses for the Lakers, 27 losses for the Clippers. There's a 6-game advantage between where the Lakers are sitting, where the Clippers are sitting, and you got another shot coming up on Sunday to potentially build on that as well. I told you guys, at least I was saying it this morning, I'll take a split in these two games. I didn't think tonight would be the game that the Lakers got. I thought the Lakers had a better shot coming up on Sunday because they got a little bit of rest. They can get healthy, and that was not the case. They stole it tonight. JJ Redick's talking. Let's take a quick listen to JJ, and then I will get to some of your guys' comments. Take a quick listen here.
Tightness in the calf, some soreness, was held out as a precaution. I think Goody rolled his ankle, so he was unable to go the last few minutes. Doesn't seem serious. And for Rui, I don't know if they've announced it, but he left patella tendinopathy on his left knee. So that's that. But our group, they competed. They found a way. It was a rock fight out there. Thought our bench, we didn't start well defensively. And then our bench came in and just gave us a massive lift on the second night of a back-to-back with their energy and activity. To get that level of play from two-way guys and Trey and Goody was awesome. And, Dalton just being ready on a night where, who knows how many minutes he plays, and then he comes in and he does well on both ends. Made some big plays and big shots to get us going there in the first half, and then the contest and dunk in the second half. So just all those guys, Vando, plus 20 in 14 minutes. I think including Gabe, who ended up with 4 of them. Our bench had 9 steals. So just those guys were awesome.
The third game in 4 nights and the second back-to-back can be taxing, right? Just for obvious reasons. But do you get a sense of where some of that, the toughness or the competitiveness or whatever it is that's carrying you guys on, like, overall on a night like this starts?
Yeah, it takes a while for a group to develop an identity. It takes a while for a group to develop a collective mentality. There's been a lot of things that have happened this season. I felt like, the group, our ecosystem was created and it's been sustained since mid-January. And there was flashes of it throughout the early parts of the year. But, I like who we are right now as a team.
You went 10-2 in February, traded for Luka, had a rescinded trade, added a couple rotation pieces. Just kind of, I know it just happened. You just turned the page on the month, but can you kind of reflect on the month that has been?
I didn't really even realize it. I randomly looked to the schedule today just to get a sense of next week. And I was like, oh man, the Knicks game was on February 1st. It's been a month, and it's been a lot of change, and then obviously with the trade getting rescinded and bringing DK and Cam back. But that's what I mean. I feel like the toughness, the competitive spirit, the connectedness that I always talk about, like our group had it in January for a while, and you're certainly concerned when you make a change of that magnitude that those things can fall off. And I thought when we got back from that Grammy trip and immediately played some really high level games, the Clippers game, the Warriors game, Pacers. I mean, we're beating really good basketball teams and hadn't gotten Luka yet. It's easier for him now to step into this group based on that week of basketball. I mean, it was a huge thing for us.
Sunday, the Lakers play
All
the
right.
Clippers again at home.
I was not ready for the end there. I was not ready. Thought we were still going. All right, that's JJ Redick. So a couple things JJ mentions. Kind of, I don't really fully understand what he said about Rui. So I'll keep an eye out here and see what that means, and see if we can get some more information on that. But nonetheless, I think the main thing that he talked about, and so JJ says Rui Hachimura's injury has been diagnosed as left patellar tendinopathy, if I said that right. All right. I don't know how long that means. I don't know what that means. So I could try as we're doing the live show and see. Let's see what it says. Jumper's knee, degenerative condition of the patellar tendon that causes pain in the front of the knee. All right. Well, I'm not going to make any assumptions of how long he would be out for. So I'm just going to wait to see. But from what I'm looking online, that doesn't sound like good news. But I'll wait on that. I'm not going to. We'll wait to we'll obviously wait to hear what they say. He talked a little bit about Austin Reeves as well. Just kind of take precautionary measures. I think what he was saying about talking about the month, interesting. I didn't even know that. And you heard Dave McMenamin mentioning it. Think about the month. The Lakers traded for Luka. It was February 1st, right? It was on a Saturday. Tomorrow, I guess, would technically be 4 weeks. It was on a Saturday. And here in the month of February, the Lakers trade Anthony Davis. They trade Max Christie. Vando had just come back a little bit earlier. Before then, you had the rescinded trade. You got players in and out of the lineup. Not everybody's healthy. Here they are, just winning, not making any excuses and finding ways to get W's. So incredibly impressive there. All right, let me look at some of the comments here and keep going. Yeah, somebody put on there too. I think it was Goodwin that rolled an ankle as well. So we'll see. Okay, as far as the Rui piece of it, we'll wait and see. I don't want to make any assumptions on anything. So we'll wait and see until the Lakers actually say something. So we'll wait on that. Okay, let's take a look at some of the comments because I have not yet looked at any of the comments. Yeah, the Lakers put something out, but it wasn't on. It wasn't specifically on Rui. All right, let's see what we've got here. Somebody has said Rui to be evaluated in week. Okay, we'll see. Okay, so basically everybody's a doctor right now online. Everybody's a doctor. Everybody is a doctor. Francis, thank you for putting in the super there, brother. Scrappy win. Love the next man up mentality. That's to me by far the most impressive thing that I've seen from the Lakers so far this year. They don't make any excuses. Just whatever the lineup is, it's like, okay, sounds good. We'll roll with that. It's like, yeah, but you're missing this guy. I don't care. Okay, but you're not supposed to win this game. All right, doesn't matter. There's no excuses. And that to me is, I think the thing that sticks out more than anything else is whatever player's in, whatever's players out, whoever got traded, or this, it doesn't matter. So like you mentioned here, Francis, next man mentality, 100%. Mitch Potter, stats for a 40-year-old LeBron on a back-to-back in February. 2 days, 2 games, 61 points, 30 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block. Damn. Mitch. Phenomenal stats there. I might steal that and put that on Twitter. No, that's big time right there. You're right. Those are his 2 games. Tonight, this is what he did. Or I'll tell you the last 2 nights, right? 37 minutes he played last night against Minnesota. 33 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists. 37 minutes tonight against the Clippers. 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. Damn, that's crazy. That's actually, first off, that's fantastic for you to put together just because I didn't even put the 2 and 2 together. I was just kind of, all right, hey, did he play? He did play. Luka's talking right now, by the way. Let me get Luka in, and then we'll come back. Luka's talking about the win.
I think the thing I was doing different, just don't wait for it, just go. And that's what helped me in the second quarter. Fourth quarter.
Luka, obviously, without Austin tonight and Rui, like a lot was going to fall on you and LeBron offensively. But I'm curious kind of what you made of Vando, Gabe, Jordan, and Trey. And kind of, could you just sort of describe the life those guys give you when they play that way?
Yeah, like I said before, they gave us life to this game. They pushed it to be better. And when the second goal with Brown came out, they pushed the ball, they defended. They showed us like a little bit how we need to play. So without them, we don't win this game tonight.
Can you reflect a little bit on the last year of your life, making the finals, changing teams, growing your family? Just kind of where do you kind of view things for you right now?
Yeah, it's all good. I'm happy. It's all that matters. I have a little daughter. My family's good. The people around me are good. So that's everything I want.
When we were speaking with JJ, he mentioned that after you
I'll go one
here,
more.
there was about week period where you were with the team, but waiting to come back, and they had wins over like Indiana, the Clippers, big time wins. What did you learn about the group during that period in terms of the effort, fight, and I guess how did you see yourself, adding to that when you were able to eventually return?
Yeah, I think the first thing I noticed was how connected they play on both ends of the floor. The ball is moving, and that's the first two things I learned or I watched the first time. So, for me, it was just trying to fit in that maybe a little bit different basketball that I'm used to. But since I've been back, they just let me be me, and I got a long way to go. But slowly, I'm starting to feel like myself.
Luka, you guys have been the best defense in the league for the past month and a half, but these last 6 games, it's been 102 points or fewer for every opponent coming out of the All-Star break. What do you think's been the key to kind of just ratcheting that up to a different level defensively?
Yeah, everybody got each other's back on the defensive end. If somebody penetrates, that's always somebody that's going to help. And the rotation is very good. So I think we just connected on the defensive end. Everybody's flying around, and the talk is amazing. So that's two or three things that help us.
All right, we'll stop it right there. Keep going. Okay, a couple things here with Luka. This morning, by the way, Mitch, thank you again for that stat. Phenomenal stat. Appreciate you highlighting that. I did my show this morning, and I was talking about how it might come off as, I'm being negative about Luka. I'm just being honest about Luka. But I was saying this morning, I'm like, the guy hasn't played well since he's been a Laker. He had a Luka game against Denver, but that's what Luka does. But a lot of the other games that you look at, he's not shooting well. His three-point shooting's awful. He hasn't been efficient. Like, the guy's going to be a lot better than what you've seen so far, which to me is great news for the Lakers, because here you are still winning games. Jovan asked the question about, you're giving up under 102 points a game in the last 6 games. Your team is still finding ways to win. And frankly, Luka has not been Luka. So I actually say that as a compliment to Luka. Even tonight, I don't think Luka was special by any stretch of the imagination. Guys, when Luka starts becoming Luka, it's going to be a completely different person. A lot of people know this because you've watched Luka over his career. But here's what very few players in the NBA can do on a consistent basis, even if they're not having a good game. When you need a bucket, they can go get you a bucket. When the game is on the line, give them the ball. Luka's 2 step-back threes, the and one that he got, a couple of possessions there when the game was a little bit on the line. I know there was still 6 minutes left or something along those lines, but that's just another day in the office for Luka. So once he does become the Luka Doncic that, everybody expects him to be, only expect it to get better. All right, let's take a look at some of the comments here. Let's see what we got here. He doesn't have to shoot well yet. His boards and passing ability have allowed LeBron to be better. Very important what you said there, yet. Right? Like, if the Lakers want to make real noise come playoff time, Luka's obviously going to have to be the best version of Luka Doncic. That's just what's going to happen. That's what just has to happen in the playoffs. But I know the point you're trying to make. The point you're trying to make is he can still impact the game even if he's not scoring. You're right. Very few players in the NBA do that every single night. You know who does that every night? LeBron does that every night. Even if LeBron's having a bad night, you look at his stats and you're like, damn, the guy got 14 rebounds and 11 assists. So, something to obviously keep in mind. But I think that's a good observation from Douglas there. BK, Luka's in a new system, came back from injury. He'll be fine. I don't think anybody's questioning that he's going to be fine. I think the point that I'm trying to make is I think it's good news for the Lakers that you're getting probably a 65 to 75% version of what Luka will be. And you're still winning games. You're still winning games. All right, let's get some more here. He's got 24 games to get into rhythm before the playoffs. He'll be fine. That is probably the most important point right there. 24 games before the playoffs start. So he definitely's got some time to make it happen. AR here. Thank you very much for the super, AR. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. By the way, cheers to everybody. I don't know what you guys are drinking. I'm drinking tea. Got some tea going. I know what it was a week ago I was doing bourbon. I cleaned my act up. I got some tea going here. AR, thank you for the super, brother. I appreciate you. Slee, please shout out Luka's birthday. I'll let you dissect the game. Win is a win in my book, is I think what you said there. AR, thank you, brother. I appreciate the super. I don't think this is just a win is a win. I think this is a very, very impressive win. And shout out to Luka, turns 26 today. Obviously, unbelievable resume so far, and expectations are only going to increase by the year, especially now that he's playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. So, AR, thank you, and I appreciate you sending the super here. Let's get another one in here. Jalen 300 provides such good content. Happy for Dalton. Appreciate the compliment. Thank you. The Dalton piece is the piece that, when I was watching the game, I kept kind of saying to myself, I'm like, you're rooting for the guy for reasons other than just basketball. You're rooting for the guy because he got traded in the middle of the season, and then the trade got rescinded. I mean, I got plenty of reasons why I'm rooting for Dalton Knecht. But, obviously, if he can help the Lakers out, he is just a rookie. So how much expectations do you really have on him? But he's also a lethal shooter. So if you get a couple shots to fall and all of a sudden he could start feeling good about himself, guys, you don't think that's going to be good for Dalton Knecht? And potentially in moments or situations, something like this happens. AR goes down. Rui can't play. Whatever the case is, now all of a sudden it's like, all right, we need Dalton Knecht. And he could come in and chip in with 8 points. I like that JJ Redick went out of his way to point him out. I think that was smart of him to do that. And I guarantee you that was strategic for him to do that as well. Jalen or Jan, thank you for the super. Musab Awad, Luka better stay on the court shooting 100 threes. Yeah, listen, that's the point that I'm trying to make. And I hope people don't take it as like, and by the way, if you do take it this way, then it really doesn't matter because my job is obviously to be honest. He's not shooting well. He's not. We don't have to pretend like he's shooting well. He's not. But they're still winning games. And eventually, you know what's going to happen? He's going to shoot well because he's Luka Doncic. I mean, if I'm looking at his stats, he was 9 of 22 from the field tonight, 3 of 9 from the three-point line. He was 1 of 9 from the three-point line yesterday, 1 of 7 in the game against Dallas, 6 of 17, 6 of 20, 9 of 22 overall over these last few games. He's going to start hitting his shots. Those are going to start falling, and he will get into more of a rhythm. And once he does, well, how much more dangerous can the Lakers be once that happens? All right, we'll find out about that. Hiru's son. It looks like Luka's struggling, but then you look up and he's got 31. These guys believe. Okay, let me do the 31 first, and then you're right about that. Like sometimes great players can put up 31 and it seems like it's nothing. Or they can put up 31 and it was like, okay, I didn't know he had 31. I'm with you. I didn't know he had 31 tonight. You kind of look up towards the end of the game like, he had 31? Okay, I didn't know. Maybe it didn't feel like he had 31, even though you knew he was going to impact the game. I don't know how much of Bron I missed. Let me try to get as much.
Single year, and a lot of games hit us. You never know how the schedule is going to fall out, but I try to be available as much as I can. And tonight is just another example of it.
You guys close out February going 10-2. Obviously had a transformational trade. What do you have to do or concentrate on in March and April to be in the best spot heading into the playoffs?
Just continue to grow. Obviously, we want to continue to grow offensively, continue to grow defensively. We're in a good place, but we're not comfortable at all. We haven't played our best game. We're capable of playing. Obviously, we got some couple injuries and things of that nature that we need to attend to as well. And that's always very important, being able to keep it going in this league too. You have to have that type of luck too. So, see what happens.
What have you been getting from Goodwin and Jemison, like guys like that off the bench? And what, as a leader, what are the things that you try to usher along as they're giving you all that?
It's more toughness. They bring more toughness to our group. We're already a tough group, but they bring more toughness. Just those dog factors. They make plays. Hustle plays, 50-50 balls. They get after it. But they've definitely given us some great minutes in the minutes they've been out there for us.
I think Vander was like a plus 20 or something like that.
That's normal for him. He's always a plus.
I was going to say, as he's worked his way back from missing a year of basketball, the lift that him and Gabe have given you guys, what have you sort of made of that?
We know we was missing from Vander while he was out. What he does doesn't always show up in the box scores. He shows up in the plus minus, but what he brings is his ability to pressure the ball, his length, be able to get his hands on loose rocks and things of that nature. Just brings us a lot of energy, and we miss him a lot, and obviously Gabe, that as well. What he brings to the table doesn't always show up in the box score, but we feel their presence when they're on the floor with us.
Thanks.
All right, stop right there. There was a question. I got pump faked. I thought it was over. The reporter threw a pump fake at me. He got me in the air. I fouled him. He was actually asking a question about Ben Simmons here. Okay. Let me hit on Bron in 2 seconds. I want to finish what Hero Sun said here about these guys believe. Yeah, that's a key element in, any aspect of your life. If whatever business you work for, whatever company you work for, if you got a manager that drives you either positively or negatively, all those things matter. I think these guys believe in JJ. JJ believes in whatever the hell he's spewing out, and they're clearly believing in him. They got the guys playing. I've said this before. There's something about watching sports, and if you don't feel like the team that you're rooting for really cares, I mean, that's one of the worst things that you can possibly watch as a sports fan is you got a squad that you like and you're like, yeah, I don't think these guys give a shit. Yeah, that's not the case with this Lakers team right here. So I think that these guys believe, I think is a good point right there. Let me go back to LeBron here for a quick second. I want to go back to LeBron. Mitch Potter had put up a stat here earlier, and he's talking about what he's done over the last 24 hours, the amount of points, the amount of rebounds. Did you guys see his stats? And it said in how many games? Do you know he's already played 54 games this year? Think about that for a quick second. LeBron's already played 54 games this year. He's 40, 22nd year. He's already played 54 games this year. Just incredible. I like that he was given a lot of love to some of those other players, the energy that some of the bench guys bring, or we knew what Vando was when we didn't have him. And of course, we knew what we were going to get when we got him back. So he mentioned all that, obviously gave a tremendous amount of love to a lot of those bench players that have been a big part of the Lakers winning ways so far this year. All right, I got to give a shout out here. How about a shout out to our sponsor? How about a shout out to one of our partners here? How about Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm, somebody that used to be with me over at 710 ESPN, and then I jumped to YouTube, and this guy's like, hey, I'm coming too. Man, I appreciate the love, and I appreciate the partnership here. If you or someone you know was in a serious injury, you should reach out to Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm. Let him walk you or your family through your legal options. I'm sure it's a very intimidating and daunting process, but let an expert in the field help you. This is not something I'm an expert on. I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching, if you're ever in a situation, serious injury case, if you're somebody in your family has been seriously injured, or you're dealing with the loss of a loved one, and let me kind of behind the scenes, insurance companies out there, they just want to settle. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do anything. They just want to settle. Guys like Brad Wallace and the Wallace Firm, they could help you, certainly put yourself in a position to get what you deserve. So I'll just kind of make this as simple as possible. If you've been in a serious injury, you are a loved one, I could make a personal introduction to somebody who has one of the top firms in all of the state of California. You can help anyone in the state of California. I got a URL out there as well. WallaceWins.com/Sliwa. WallaceWins.com/Sliwa. You can get a free consultation, or like I said, I can make an introduction. I'm happy to do so. I hope you guys never need Brad Wallace. I hope you guys are never in this situation, but life happens. And when it does, at least I have somebody in the industry that I can introduce you to, and then you can make the best decision for you and your family from there. WallaceWins.com/Sliwa. Very appreciative of the partnership with him. Like I said, for our relationship, a lot of it is personal because I know him, but he also believes in the channel, and he also believes that this is going to be in the best interest of his business, and I'm very appreciative of that. Okay, let's keep the show rolling here. And let's look at some more of these comments here. All right, let me see what we got here. Comments everywhere. Everybody wants something to say about this Lakers game tonight. Mike Muscala for Zubac, still a head scratcher. What did Zubac end up with tonight? Zubac's a good player. He's a good player. Let me see what he had tonight. I know he led the Clippers 27 and 16. Jesus. For Mike Muscala? Come on, Magic. The hell was going on back then? I know that one comes up a lot. Every time the Lakers play the Clippers. So you worried about what Zubac today? To be honest with you, I think the way the Lakers are kind of playing small ball here, and I'm not telling you that it won't come back and potentially hurt them down the road, but I mean, they're kind of forcing teams to play almost their style. And you saw what the Lakers were doing to Zubac. They were saying, okay, if Zubac is in, we're going to bring Zubac to the top of the key. Something I honestly don't understand. I don't understand why coaches, Jackson Hayes or whoever's the 5 for the Lakers, is going to try to screen to get Zubac to switch on Luka. I never understand why coaches say, okay, well, let's just leave our center on an island with Luka. That doesn't make any sense to me. I would send a double team, but that happened in the playoffs too. Remember against Minnesota, Rudy Gobert is in the game, and Rudy Gobert is on skates against Luka Doncic, and Luka, same thing, step back 3. And everybody's like, oh, Gobert can't guard in the perimeter. Gobert's a center. He's not supposed to be guarding Luka Doncic. I just don't think people like Gobert, so I think that they were going after him. But what was different tonight when all of a sudden Lakers were doing the same thing, and it was Zubac that was on an island at the top of the key? Glad the team doesn't lose sight of the fact they're building a new team on the fly, middle of the season. It's still working. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to keep saying it because it probably gets annoying. That to me is the most impressive part of this season. How many different lineups, how many different players, how many different guys in and out, and how many different trades, and the Lakers are still winning. That to me is the most impressive part about this season. All right, let's get some more in here. Let's see what we got here. It took Zoo years to transition to Zubac. He's a good player. He's a really, really good player. Zubats is a good player. I want to see what some of the other guys do. Kawhi was 8 of 17, 21 points. I thought the Lakers did a good job on him. James Harden was, oh my God, Harden was awful tonight. Look at Harden's line. 5 of 22, 1 of 10 from the three-point line. He had some good looks too. 18 points. 18 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and 6 turnovers for James Harden. Also had 3 steals. Really nobody off the bench was special for them as well. Bogdan Bogdanovic didn't do anything. Nicholas Batum didn't do anything. Ben Simmons didn't do anything. So none of their bench players did anything. So nothing really impressive from the Clippers. Can they sweep the Clippers on this 2-game set? Can they grab another one coming home or coming in on Sunday? Let's see what he's got here. Tough Western Conference teams. Okay, I got to give some shout-outs here as well. So maybe you guys know this, maybe you guys don't, and I'm going to put a link here real quick as well. I did start memberships. So if you're interested in being a member, it's $3 a month. I am going to put it in the chat right here. Here's a link to it. No pressure on anybody, but man, I would love to have as many members as possible. We're actually getting close to 200 members, and I've just been promoting this now for 2 weeks. A lot of people doing like we got right here from Venus, gifting 5 Hoops Talk memberships. So I really, really appreciate this, and I've had a lot of people do this. If you want a membership, here's your opportunity to get it, or pay $3 a month, and I will do everything I can to make sure that you get the value of those $3. So again, I don't want to put any pressure on people. You guys do this, but it's just a way to support the channel. And if that's something that you want to do, I greatly appreciate it. And like Venus is doing here, certainly appreciate that. So I'll leave those there, and I appreciate everybody who's a member. Even if you're not a member, thank you for being a part of the channel. Okay, I got a couple others here real quick. Tommy, thank you very much. Tommy, thank you, brother. Tommy did that yesterday too. Tommy, that's enough. That's enough. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you very much. All right, this is what happens. AD is gifting 5 members. BK is gifting 5 members. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys doing that. I'll have some exclusive content for members this weekend. Right now, I'm going to post 1 video a week that's just for members. And it will be a little bit different. It's not going to be kind of the normal content. I'm going to still keep doing my Monday through Friday show, obviously post-game shows, but I'll have exclusive content for members as well. Thank you, guys. BK, thank you. AD, thank you. Venus, thank you very much. And Tommy, thank you very much. All right, let's take a look at some more of these comments here. I can't stand the Clippers. Steve Ballmer dancing in his chair is annoying. Ballmer with a loss always feels good. Only thing I want from Ballmer, there's only one thing I want from Ballmer. Not much. There's just one thing I would really like to have that Ballmer has. Let me just get the accurate account. Only thing I want from Ballmer is the $0.9 billion that he's worth. Ballmer's worth $117.9 billion. I just want the $900 million. I just want the 0.9. That's all I want from Ballmer. He could keep his $117 billion. I just want the 0.9. That's what his net worth is today. Would he even realize that that's not in his bank account? Come on. If you're worth $117.9 billion and you woke up in the morning and somebody told you, said, hey, you told your assistant, you asked your assistant, what's my net worth today? And they said it's $117 billion. He wouldn't skip anything. He'd go right back to doing whatever he's doing. That's all I want. I don't want anything else from Steve Ballmer. I just want the 0.9. Not asking for too much. Somebody just wants $100. Slee, are you going to count the toilets at the Intuit Dome on Sunday? Well, it's not at the Intuit Dome. Right now, I'm in a very, very heavy. I got all of my attorneys looking into the amount of restrooms that are at the toilets. It's there's a lot going on behind the scenes. He knows what's going on. Okay, let's take a look at the next game for the Lakers. So they got the Clippers again. So let me I want to share my screen with everybody here real quick. We could look at this together. Toilets. Why was he so excited about the toilets? The guy just built a $2 billion arena. He's finally got, the Clippers in their own stadium, and he spent 30 minutes talking about toilets. He's like, have you seen how many urinals we have in here? I'm like, Steve, we got it. Everybody understands. There's a lot of bathrooms in here. But you just built a arena. You're worth $117.9 billion. Why are you so excited about the toilets? He loved the toilets. He's very passionate about the toilets. All right, let's look at some of the comments here. Or no, let's do this. I want to look at the standings here real quick for the Lakers. So how about this? Look at this real quick, okay? Right now in the Western Conference, this is where the Lakers are sitting. 37-21, 16 games over 500. They've won 5 games in a row, 8 of their last 10. Beat some good teams too. I mean, if you really kind of think about it, I know, the Minnesota, the Dallas, okay, not everybody was healthy. Beat Clippers a couple of times. I mean, beat the Pacers without being healthy. They went at Denver and got a W. But this is the mix that the Lakers are in. Lakers are fighting right here. 2-5, 2-5. That's where the Lakers are fighting. That's the mix that the Lakers are in. They're not in this mix here of 7 through 10. They're not in the play-in tournament. They're not the Phoenix Suns, who are 4 games out of just the play-in tournament. They're not Sacramento that's just trying to hover around 500. That's kind of where the Lakers have been. No, they're attached to 2 through 5. And I think after this win tonight, and if they get another one on Sunday, it's going to be tough for them to be fighting for anything other than 2 through 5. Damn impressive. So they got the Clippers again coming up, obviously on Sunday. A lot of that game is also going to just depend on, all right, where are the Lakers as far as health goes? That's going to be kind of the question moving forward for the Lakers. It's going to be health. All right, Austin Reeves there, the Rui situation. It's going to be those situations that we're looking at as well. Lakers been beating 500 teams. You guys remember when, let's see when this was. Do you guys remember there was a time during the season where all the wins that the Lakers were getting were against teams below 500. I think they were 13-1 against teams below 500, but they were just 7-14 against teams above 500. Well, if I go look at the Lakers schedule right now, I don't know how many games I could count here since that Boston win. Boston's over 500. Warriors are over 500. I'm just trying to count teams over 500. Knicks, Clippers, Warriors again, Pacers. That's 6 games. That's 7. Mavericks, Timberwolves, and Clippers again. That's 10 games that the Lakers have beat against teams over 500 since, we were throwing out that stat where they were doing awful against teams over 500. Yep, Dallas and Minnesota are over 500 as well. So there being a lot of good teams in the process too, playoff caliber teams. Seiko wants to know next barometer game. I got you. I'll give you the next barometer game. It's not against the Clippers on Sunday. It's not against the Pelicans. I got your barometer game. Boston. Coming up a week from tomorrow, Lakers are at Boston. There's your barometer game. Really good game between Boston and Cleveland tonight. Cleveland was down big, come all the way back and win the game. You want the next barometer game. By the way, the Knicks game too, I think that's a good game. That's a tough game. I'm sure Knicks are going to want some payback. But if you want a true barometer game, how about you go on the road to Boston coming up a week from Saturday? That's as good as it gets, guys. That's as good as it gets. So Celtics coming up. For everybody that wants to see the Celtics lose a week from tomorrow, everybody better be cheering for the Celtics coming up on Sunday. Now, I know people are probably confused and saying, did Slee just say cheer for the Celtics on Sunday? Yes. They play Denver on Sunday. They host the Denver Nuggets on Sunday. So you should be cheering for the Boston Celtics coming up on Sunday. I got my reasoning. Yep, everybody knows what I'm talking about here. Celtics, next barometer game, Celtics. Lakers will beat Boston. You guys shouldn't be worried about a team with Westbrook on it. All right, that's obviously Denver, Redick or Missoula. JJ's having such a good season. He's having such a freaking incredibly impressive season. And frankly, you know, I've probably undersold it, to be honest with you. He has been so good this year. Denver will lose to Boston. Can't cheer for the Celtics. Sunday you should. You don't have to cheer for them, but you should acknowledge them beating Denver. Okay, I always forget Instagram here. Instagram. We're winning because the whole team has bought in on playing defense. 6 games in a row, giving up 102 or less. Samuel Bales on Instagram. Defense is definitely different. Now, there aren't a lot of players that try and be elite one-on-one defenders. Thank you for the comment there on Instagram. LeBron shouldn't be able to play like this. Doesn't make any sense. I'm with you on that. V-Man. Is there no defenders anymore? The Kobe stoppers. There really wasn't a Kobe stopper. Ruben Patterson, if you guys remember, was, I think, like titled Kobe stopper. I'm like, what? Then he hits two buckets off of him to win the division. I don't know if you guys remember. That was years ago. I still remember that. Here's another one on Instagram. Who are the secret dudes that are crushing in low-key style? I'll tell you who they are. They are Jordan Goodwin, Trey Jamison III. I think Gabe Vincent's been playing a lot better, and then obviously everybody else that we're talking about, and Dalton Knecht contributed tonight as well. All right, I finally remembered Instagram. I've been so bad at Instagram. My apologies, Instagram. Thank you for being a part of the show. That's funny here. Kobe stopper, Tony Allen. Yeah, some of the greats have all said that Tony Allen was the toughest guy to score on. I think Kobe said that too. Kobe said that about Tony Allen. All right, we're going to get a couple more comments in here, and then we're going to get out of here. ZJ, we got to really push for the second seed. We have the opportunity to have 2 initial home games versus the Nuggets in Game 7 at home. I like that. ZJ, I like the way you're thinking there. This isn't about, who you're getting in the first round. It's you get to avoid OKC until you get to the Western Conference Finals. And then you can also get home court if you get Denver, if Denver ends up that number 3 seed. I mean, in a perfect world, Denver ends up the number 4 seed, and they got to go against OKC in the second round, and those two can kind of figure that out. I will tell you this. Luka, when he was in Dallas, had a lot of success against Denver. He also had a lot of success against the Clippers. I mean, there's certain teams out there that he always played well against. So something to keep in mind. That's the thing. Listen, I still think Denver's a great team, a really, really good team in the Western Conference, but it's not the same team because the Lakers are not the same team. And they've lost some guys. They've lost some depth. We all know that. They've lost some depth. All right, let's see what we got here. Vando is our stopper. Yeah, Vando's been just excellent. We have to give flowers to JJ this year. No question about that. David, thank you. Thank you for the super, brother. Yeah, listen, I've tried mentioning this. I'm as impressed as anybody else with JJ Redick. And if you had doubt coming into the season, okay, well, you should have had doubt. You've never seen the man coach before. He's been phenomenal. Just phenomenal. really one of the best hires the Lakers have made in a really, really long time. And it feels like JJ is going to be a coach in this league for a long time. David, waive Reddish and Alex Lynn, sign Jemison and Goodwin. Yeah, they're going to have to figure out. I think there's only so many amount of games they can have them up here, and it will have to be. They'll have to be a little bit more strategic. But they're not even using Alex Lynn, so that was kind of a waste of a roster spot, to be honest with you. Probably panicked a little bit once the Mark Williams trade didn't happen. David, thank you for the super brother. I appreciate you. Mitch Potter, through his career, LeBron played 90% of back-to-backs. I saw that earlier today too. I think they said that on the broadcast. This guy, unbelievable. Let me get a couple more of these supers in. Mitch, thank you for the super, brother. Art H, Zoo dropping 27 and 16. Wish we never gave up on him. Yeah, I think that's an easy one that you look back at and just say, what the hell were the Lakers doing? And we've done that plenty of times. Basically, every time the Lakers play the Clippers, we're like, why they get rid of Zubats? And nobody has an answer for it. John Aguirre, Luka will be great. Lakers are winning. Luka will be great. And the Lakers are still winning, and he's not been great. He's not been the Luka that he'll eventually be as the season progresses. All right, my people, we hit an hour. That's it. We're done. A lot of shows these last couple of days. You guys got to be sick of me. I'm sick of me. I mean, we had Sliwa show on Thursday morning, then Lakers postgame show, and then Sliwa show on Friday morning, and then a Lakers postgame show. I'm annoyed of me. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you guys being a part of the channel. I just ask if you can subscribe to the channel. Would greatly appreciate that. We're closing in on 31,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Lakers win again tonight and continue to handle business 106-102 over the Clippers. We'll get some content up this weekend. Definitely, obviously, we'll be ready for the Lakers postgame show on Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your Friday night, and hopefully you guys enjoy your Saturday tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you.